Hello everyone, it's Simi here with my review of the animated Killing Joke movie. I want to start this review off by saying that this is just my opinion, and I'm certain that some people may disagree with me on it because this film has been anticipated for years by comic book fans everywhere. It's a passion project, and people want it to be good and live up to the hype surrounding it. Because people have wanted a Killing Joke movie for years, and they may not ask questions about will it be good, will it be properly adapted. Now, did Batman the Killing Joke truthfully live up to the hype? Well, as much as I hate to say it, it didn't. It didn't live up to the hype and expectation that I had for an animated interpretation of one of my favorite Batman stories and one of the most iconic stories in Batman's long history. I don't know. It just didn't do it for me in the way that I had expected. Now, what didn't I like about this film that made me feel like it didn't live up to the hype? Primarily, one of the issues I had with this film is the animation style that wasn't that different from what we saw in the trailers. It was like they tried to draw the comics on screen while mixing it with the Bruce Timm animation style from Justice League Unlimited. And as you could probably guess, it did not work. It just didn't mix. There were certain scenes that had the characters looking like the geometry was unfinished. It was like these were shapes instead of people. And if you're going to do a DC animated film, then do it like the rest of them. Use one style of animation. Don't use two at once because this is what happens. You get lackluster stuff like this that doesn't mix, and it really took me out of the experience throughout the whole film, and it wasn't the only thing that crashed the feeling of the film for me. It was the way that they handled the story as well. When I talk about the story for the animated movie, I feel like Bruce Timm and everyone that worked on this wanted it to be another great entry into the library of DC's animated franchise when they set out to do it. That's always been their goal, and it's one that Timm generally satisfied. But when they put it out into action, the end product, it just wasn't anything special. It was just pure, poorly done fan service. The pacing was too fast and didn't give us the opportunity to take in any iconic moments like we did with the book. It just felt like 1 minute we were seeing Batgirl kicking some thugs, and then the next, she's upping Barbara Gordon. There was no smooth transition into that, or any other scene for that matter. I mean, the first 30 minutes was just some lame Batgirl subplot that kind of got the character wrong, or actually it did get the character wrong, and then it it poorly transitioned into what was the actual Killing Joke, and I'm miffed about that too. And even the dialogue felt like that at times too, if you really listen to Mark Hamill and Kevin Conroy throughout the film. There was no passion, emotion, or anything of the like with them, even though they are still considered the best Batman and Joker voice actors out there. It's disappointing. They were just trying to get through the lines like nothing instead of actually delivering them. Especially Hamill, and I'm very disappointed in this when he gave that famous monologue about memories in the film. I expected him to do something like Troy Baker, who did the monologue at NYCC a few years back for Arkham Origins. I wanted to be the classic Mark Hamill Joker that we all know and love, and it was supposed to blow every fan away. This was supposed to be his crowning moment. But no, he just irked me. Of course, that wasn't the only thing that irked me about the film, and it wasn't as big a screw-up like the whole Batgirl Batman thing that went on in this movie. In this little subplot at the beginning of the film that I mentioned earlier, I think they got Barbara Gordon all wrong, even in the character portrayal. To me, they made her into this whiny little brat that's looking for Bruce's attention and wants to try and sleep with him, which she does, by the way, on a rooftop. And for some really weird reason, even though that isn't who Batgirl is, and I really don't think she's ever been that way from my understanding, when I think of a character like Batgirl, I think of a strong, bold, determined, and independent female crime fighter that really isn't looking for Batman's attention in that way, but she wants his tutelage because she sees him as a teacher or a father. It's like a surrogate daughter kind of thing. Because, her dad's not really always there. He's policing. He's commissioner, obviously, as you know. And she wants to do her own thing while offering her help when he needs it. And I think this whole film was an insult to her that shoehorned in the classic Barbara-Bruce relationship like we saw in Batman and Beyond. Like, did DC forget that fans were largely against that relationship because of how illogical and inappropriate it seems? Batman is a close friend of hers, and in a way, it's like he's a surrogate teacher or brother to her. And, he's not some person that she's supposed to sleep with on a rooftop like in this film. And it's kind of disgusting if you really think about it, because Barbara's like a kid. And Bruce, well, he's not. Like, Jesus Christ. What was DC and the production team behind this thinking when they made this film? It was just a total train wreck and not what the fans wanted and not what they deserved. They did things that no sane-minded Batman fan or DC wanted, like that Batgirl-Batman love affair thing. And so you really blew it, DC. You definitely blew your load here and thought a fan would just like this film solely because of the DC logo being slapped on the film, your reputation for great animated movies, which you've constantly let us down with those lately, the cast you had for the film, and the fact that this was based on one of your most iconic graphic novels of all time. No, you have to give us a quality movie with quality story and telling and animation that doesn't make us cringe if you want us to like or love it. It's plain and simple. And it's something I don't think they've gotten with the last few DC films. Because I'm pretty sure Batman vs. Robin, Justice League War, are textbook examples of what's wrong with DC's animation department. They're dropping the ball because they think the brand and the characters will sell itself, when that's not how it works anymore. And if I'm going to rate this film, then I'm going to be honest. And I'm going to be brutal about it. Batman the Killing Joke is not a film I'd be in a rush to watch again, or at all. I think that this film most definitely earned a 5.5 out of 10. I'm seriously kind of heartbroken here. This was one of the most iconic Batman stories and one of my favorites, and DC really let me down here. They would let the fans down here. And that's all I'm going to say for this film, and I think I'm going to need to read the graphic novel to remind myself what's so good about The Killing Joke. Thanks for watching, geeks. If you liked this video and wanting to see more, then like, comment, subscribe. Make sure you check out our other videos too.